There are 5 cordless vacuum brands sitting in stores right now that are not worth your money. Some of them look premium. Some of them promise 60 minutes of battery life on the box. But the moment you get them home, the deal is already over in their favor. And then there are 3 brands doing the exact opposite, where the engineering justifies the price and the promise holds up in real life. Let's go through all 8. Number 5 is Dirt Devil. The name has been around since 1905. That is the entire product. Dirt Devil has been trading on its legacy for decades, while letting actual manufacturing slide to a price point that shows within weeks. Filters clog faster than they should. Suction drops in ways that make cleaning harder, not easier. Consumer Reports has placed Dirt Devil among the lowest rated brands across their vacuum testing, with Cordless being the weakest part of their range. What you are buying is a brand that was relevant long ago and has coasted on that ever since. At this price, there are better options from brands you have probably never heard of. There is no reason to buy a Dirt Devil in 2025. Number 4 is Hoover. Hoover is the vacuum brand that made the word hoovering part of the English language. It is also one of the clearest examples of a company selling you its history instead of its product. The brand changed ownership multiple times over the past 2 decades, and manufacturing quality dropped with each transition. Today's cordless Hoover models are heavier than competitors. The advertised battery life consistently overstates what you actually get, and the build quality feels a generation behind at the asking price. Hoover is not a disaster. It is something more dangerous than a disaster, a mediocre product packaged inside a name people still trust. That gap between reputation and reality is exactly what you are paying for every time you pick Hoover over something that actually earns it. Number 3 is Bissell. Bissell makes genuinely solid carpet cleaners and upright vacuums. Their full-size corded range is legitimate. None of that carries over to their cordless lineup. Consumer Reports specifically named Bissell among the worst-performing brands in cordless stick vacuum testing. Suction numbers look acceptable on the spec sheet, but they degrade faster under real conditions than almost any competitor at the same price. On hard floors, where cordless vacuums spend most of their time, the performance gap is most visible. The dust cup design makes emptying messier than it needs to be. Bissell knows how to build one kind of vacuum. Their cordless range is where they are cutting corners and hoping the brand name carries the sale. Number 2 is Tenneco. Tenneco arrived with everything the category rewards: LCD screens showing real-time dirt detection, automatic suction adjustment, and sleek hardware. The packaging looks expensive. Long-term ownership does not. Motor failure complaints appear after the warranty expires, at a rate that stands out in every major review database. Battery degradation hits early and hard. Users consistently report actual run times that fall far short of the advertised figures. Customer service is a consistent failure. Slow responses, replacement parts listed as available that are not, and problems that repeat after repair. Tenneco is spending its engineering budget on features that photograph well. The fundamentals are where it shows. Number 1 is Shark. Shark is everywhere, in big box stores, on television ads, and in influencer deals. Their name recognition rivals Dyson, and their corded range is genuinely competent, but the cordless lineup has a documented problem. The marketing does not mention battery life that falls consistently short of what is advertised on the box. Consumer Reports tracks battery problems as one of the most common failure points across all cordless vacuums, and Shark earns only a middling score on predicted reliability in their member surveys, meaning owners report problems at a rate that stands out for a brand at this price point. The gap between what Shark promises on runtime and what owners actually get in daily use is real. It is consistent. And it is exactly the kind of thing you only discover after the return window has closed. At the price Shark charges for their cordless range, that is not acceptable. There are 3 brands where the opposite is true, where the product delivers exactly what it promises. Number 3 is Miele. Miele is German engineering applied to a vacuum cleaner. The Triflex HX2 is their flagship cordless model, and the build quality is obvious from the moment you hold it. Components that feel solid, attachments that connect cleanly, and suction that stays consistent across floor types, without the drop-off that defines cheaper machines. Miele is a brand that engineers for longevity. Their parts availability policy and motor warranties are structured for the long term in a way that no budget brand comes close to matching. The upfront price is high. Divided across a decade of reliable daily use, it is one of the most financially honest purchases in this category. Number 2 is Samsung. Nobody expects Samsung on a list like this. That is exactly why it belongs here. Consumer Reports found that Samsung cordless vacuums show significantly lower rates of battery degradation than almost every other brand they tested, including brands that charge considerably more. The battery holds up. Suction on carpet is among the strongest in independent testing. The docking station empties the dustbin automatically after each session. Samsung is not historically a vacuum company. They are a hardware engineering company that built a vacuum and applied the same standards. That difference shows in the product every time you use it. Number 1 is Dyson. You expected Dyson on the avoid list. It is not here. Dyson is the most complained about brand in this category, and also the most justified purchase for most people. The price is high. Replacement parts are expensive. New models come out constantly, which makes older ones feel outdated faster than they should. All of that is true, and does not change the core fact: the engineering is best in class. The V15 Detect uses a green laser to reveal dust on hard floors that is invisible to the naked eye, and adjusts suction automatically based on what it detects. Consumer Reports consistently places Dyson at the top of cordless performance testing. Every brand on the avoid list costs less and delivers less. Dyson is the one where the price and the product are finally in the same conversation. The pattern across every brand on the avoid list is the same. A name that once meant something, or a product that looks impressive in a store, or a spec sheet that sounds better than it performs at home. Dirt Devil is selling 1905. Hoover is selling the word hoovering. Bissell is selling carpet credibility. It is not extended to cordless. Tineco is selling an LCD screen. Shark is selling a runtime it cannot consistently deliver. None of them are selling you a vacuum that will still be doing its job reliably in 5 years. The 3 on the worth it side are: Miele builds for longevity. Samsung builds for battery reliability that holds up in practice. Dyson builds the technology that makes the cleaning itself better. That is the difference, not the price tag, but the intention behind the engineering. 5 cordless vacuums not worth your money, 3 that are. The difference is not price. Shark costs more than Samsung and performs worse on the one metric that matters most in a cordless vacuum. The difference is whether the engineering delivers what the name promises. Now you know which brands are honest about that and which ones are not. Drop your pick in the comments and subscribe for more breakdowns like this one.